Good morning, good morning. Welcome to our Talks with Anthony. Today we're going to have a insightful conversation. For those that are new to the channel, we make mental health conversations and content that's going to be beneficial to your personal development in addition to your well-being, right? But in today's conversation, we're going to be talking about strength isn't about pushing, it's about adapting, right? So many people define strength as pushing through every obstacle, no matter the cost, right? So the strongest people are not the ones that just endure the most. They're often the ones who know how to adjust without losing sight of what matters, right? So like I said, it's really important for us to be able to, know how to slow down, know how to really be self-aware, know our capacity, right? Know the environment, like really, you feel me? Like your head is, you have vigilance of what's going on, right? So let's normalize this experience because you're not the only one that's trying to navigate when it comes to building your strength and personal development, right? So many people feel guilty when it comes to change, when it comes to their plans and slowing down their pace. Society often pushes and makes it seem as if that people that are persistent are they're pushing through, but let's be real, we have to be able to know how to be flexible as well, right? So knowing how to adapt, right? It's common to believe that adapting means giving up. So people are just like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I'm so comfortable doing what I'm doing. I'm stuck in my regimen, right? But we got to be able to, like I said, be flexible, right? Adapt, be able to, read the situation, read ourselves, and be able to, like I said, adapt into having a different approach, right? So it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you're being able to pay attention, like I said, to, the situation that it requires, all right? So let's talk about some psychoeducation. Psychoeducation talks about, psychological resilience is about, isn't about, like I said, avoiding that stress, avoiding, running away from that comfortability. It's about, like I said, responding effectively to it based on what the situation is, right? Everybody's going to be different. Everybody's resilience in this situation is different in regards to what they're coming from, right? The dynamic of what they was raised in, right? But like I said, adaptability is something that's going to help you be flexible in regards to the situation, the circumstances, right? So flexibility and adaptability allows us to adjust when circumstances, energy, or, like I said, our priorities change, right? So when we're growing, things are going to change. The knowledge that we get is going to change us, right? We're going to become better, positive individuals, right? People around us, we can't control people, but we only can control what? Ourselves, right? So it's very important, like I said, for personal development. Look at what's on your plate. Focus on yourself. Focus on your growth, right? And understand too, when it comes to people beside of us, right? We can love them, right? The toxic one, we can love them from a distance, right? For those that are coming from dysfunctional dynamics, we gotta be real with it. But like I said, when it comes to your development, do what's gonna be beneficial for you, so you're able to get that flexibility to get to that next level to where you want to be, right? So once again, like I said, rigid thinking can increase that frustration, right? What's holding us back, right? What's going on? We want to level up, but we ain't doing what we gotta do, right? So while flexibility, like I said, supports that healthier coping, and it's helping us heal. It's helping us, like I said, move forward in regards to that improvement, right? So resilience is built through that flexibility, not by force, right? So like I said, I really want you guys to be more intuitive with yourself. Where is that? Yep. So I want you guys to really get that journal. This is going to be able to help you develop that self-awareness, all right? So I know what you guys are doing, for those out there working in school, you know what I mean? Taking care of the family, whatever you're doing on your back end. But when it comes to your personal development, really get yourself a little dollar notebook and really spend time to really build this rapport with yourself so you're able to know what's going on. And you also, too, my thing is this, though. These things could be books. These things, you could be able to look back on this when you're having a stress moment, you feel me, a day you really going through it. Look at that journal. Remember, you could remind yourself of the day that you was going through that struggle and it pushed you through, right? So let's use this stuff as encouragement. Let's use our lives as motivation, right? No one knows you more than yourself. You are the narrator of your story, right? So let's take some action and let's find ways we're able to navigate through with this, like I said, the flexibility approach. Right, so like I said, imagine the storm, imagine the branches, things are bending, you feel me? Like how are we gonna be able to navigate through this? You know what I mean? Every day is not gonna be candling, like I said, every day is not gonna be sweet, but we have to be able to navigate through with a positive approach. Right, so let's talk about some practical reframe, redefining strength, right? So strength can look like asking for help. Everybody's gonna be different. Advocate for yourself, right? Closed mouths don't get what? They don't get fed, right? Strength can also look like rest before, you're feeling depleted. Some of us out here, we're always pushing through. We've seen our mom, we've seen our pops push through, right? Everybody's dynamic is different, right? Some people have seen their grandma push through, you dig? You know what I mean? And what does it lead? It leads us to burnout, that frustration. Some people even come home projecting their problems onto people because they're just going through it at their job, etc. They don't know how to advocate or speak up, or etc. You know what I mean? Everybody's situation is going to be different, but it's really good, like I said, get that rest. You know what I mean? Also, too, the things that we put in our body affect how we going to feel with our mood. You feel me? So try your best to get that nutrition. Keyword nutrition, right? The junk food, all that other stuff ain't going to do too much, right? There's time and a place. You feel me? Moderation, you dig? But let's really focus on building our wellness up. You dig? Also, too, strength can also look like, changing your strategy instead of, like I said, abandoning your goal, right? So, like I said, we need to do what's going to be beneficial for yourself, right? If you want to go to school, you want to get a job, you want to get a car, you want to get your license, you feel me? Like, let's start working towards our goals. Everybody's situation is going to be different, but let's boost ourselves up, right? Stop letting people limit you, suppress you, and they're holding back your potential. You feel me? Let go and let's do what we got to do for ourselves, right? Let's take action. Let's get things moving. You dig? So like I said, strength can look different, but like I said, it's going to look different because you're taking that chance on yourself. You're believing in yourself. You're taking action on yourself, right? Other people are going to say what they're going to say. We don't need that validation. The validation comes within, right? So let's look within for ourselves. Let's use that compassion. Let's use this positive self-talk. Let's do what we got to do to make sure that we're able to build ourselves up in regards to this flexibility, right? So like I said, I want to also provide some examples. I'm taking a mental health day instead of pushing through with that exhaustion. Like I said, those out there, y'all know what's up. So for those out there that are working, right? Modifying your workout, regimen in regards to, like I said, if you're injured, if you know you tore up, you already rolled your little ankle, why are you going to sit there and go back to the basketball court? Let your body rest. Y'all, we need to get more intuitive with our body, more intuitive with our mindset, right? So know when to really slow down, in addition to, like I said, pushing through with this resilience, right? You need to know your capacity, right? Setting boundaries to protect your well-being. Some of us got to put them cancellations up. Some of us got to love people from a distance, right? Those out there come from dysfunctional dynamics with the family, right? Like, we need to build this rapport with ourselves, because I'm telling you, it can get real. You know what I mean? Your mental health can really be at risk if you're not taking care of who? Yourself, right? So please put the boundaries up. Like I said, no means no is a full sentence. You don't really got to over-explain yourself. Like, take care of yourself, right? And when you're able to, pop out and do what you got to do, you go about your life, go about your business, right? Adjusting your timeline instead of giving up on your dream. Y'all, some people out there, are limiting your potential, holding you back because, you feel me, they want you to be close to them. They want you to be under them. They want you to be, you feel me, in their circumference, control, you feel me? So let's not allow people to manipulate, tamper with our lives, and we ain't no puppet, you feel me? Stop letting people play with you. Do what you gotta do for your life, accomplish your dreams. Let's make it happen with that positive mindset, you know what I mean? Anything's possible, you feel me? When you put your mind to it, y'all. You feel me? So this is what I'm saying. We gotta make some adjustments. We gotta make some moves. We gotta take action. But we also gotta have compassion and know our capacity, right? Know when to get our rest, and know that we're being consistent. We have discipline in regards to what? Our routine. Everybody's life's gonna be different. Everybody's goals are gonna be different. Everybody's come from different parts of the world and doing different things. But when it comes to personal development, we all got something in common. We all trying to work towards something. We all trying to what? We all trying to improve. So let's focus on our dreams. Let's focus on what really matters in regards to your purpose, y'all. Let's get to it, right? So moving to micro action, because we know better, we tend to what? We tend to do better, right? So think about a challenge that you're currently facing. Really develop this, like I said, this rapport. Find that area where you can get away from the distractions, get away from the noise, get away from the dysfunction. Y'all, let's get real with it. You feel me? Let's go to a pond, go to a beach, take a walk around the block. You feel me? Like, really get tuned in with yourself, right? A follow-up question is, I want you to ask yourself, am I, trying to force my way through this, or is this a healthy way to adapt, right? So really understand, is this healthy or is this dysfunction? Right? Choose an adjustment that supports, like I said, both that goal in addition to, like I said, your well-being, like your mental health. I don't want it to be at risk, right? So understand the fine line, right? We can push for our goals. We can push for our dreams. We can work hard. We can, you feel me? We can put the work in the right way, and at the same time too, get the right results. But we gotta also too know when to what? Slow down. We don't want to burn out. We don't want to be tore from the floor up, right? And at the same time too, I want to say this as well, is that when you fall down in regards to that burnout, right, it can take you time to find yourself again. Say it again. When you burn yourself out, it could take you time to find yourself again, because you could be so you're sauced up. Your mind is it's cooked. It is cooked. It's burnt out. You feel me? For the same thing for a car, you blew that engine. You feel me? It's gonna take time to find a new one. It takes time to recalibrate that engine to get back to, you feel me, running that car. Like, it's going to take time. So that's what I'm saying. We need to know when to kind of slow down. We need to know be more intuitive with ourselves. Mindfulness. You feel me? Meditation, working out. You feel me? Making sure that we're getting the stress out of our body. You feel me? We're talking to someone proactively. We're investing in to ourselves in regards to talking to a therapist, psychoeducation. We're getting this positive encouragement that you feel me? You guys getting dialogue, right? We got to be keeping ourselves at a good frequency, right? But you got to know what's going on with you by building, like I said, that rapport with yourself, right? So have these questions, but also to have that compassion with yourself. Allow yourself to know, like, each and every day, like, you're trying your best. You feel me? Talk to yourself in the mirror. You feel me? before you scrub a dub, you dig, in the shower, like really build this rapport with yourself, y'all. Like we gotta have this positive mindset, right? Really love yourself, right? Love within, because when you love yourself, you love others. By loving others, you're loving yourself. So y'all gonna get the energy. Y'all gonna keep this vibration. Y'all gonna keep doing. Y'all gonna keep thriving. Y'all gonna get your goals accomplished, you dig. But I really want us, like I said, build this rapport with yourself and know your capacity, right? So strength isn't measured by how much you're able to endure, how much you can go through, how much you keep pushing through to that burnout. Like I said, it's about measuring and being honest in regards to responding through life's challenges, like I said, by adapting, right? And knowing that you can have different approaches to different things. It's not just one way about doing things, right? If you found this video beneficial, give it a thumbs up, share if possible, and I'll see you on the next one. Stay blessed.